Hello, welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Tonight, Brandon is joining us again.
Oh, what?
And we got Vince over watching cartoons, or watching TV. But we want to apologize. We are sorry we missed last week. We had some technical difficulties we've been trying to work out. I think we finally got them all taken care of. If anybody listened to the last episode, it had horrible audio, but we think we finally got that all figured out and taken care of. Mm-hmm. So we've been messing with it all night, trying to get rid of all that stuff, and we got a better camera, and we're getting this ready to take off. But as always, tonight's episode is brought to you by Are You Game?
The best nerd store in all of
That's
Pickwa.
why I sell this.
Yes.
By you, Vince.
Give it a big thumbs up, Vince.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right, I'll go play.
All right.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love it. That's Vince. That's my youngest son.
He's
That sounds like
he's the
Doug.
funny one.
Yes, he's the funny one.
That sounds like Doug.
Like no one will have better comedic timing than Vince has.
Vince can get comedic timing down pat. You would never understand that. You have to understand Vince to get that.
That sounds like
it's fun.
Doug.
Hey, Vince. You're loud. All right. Well, tonight, we want to talk because it's still Halloween time as we were recording this
Best month of the
at
year.
11:08 on the 23rd of October. 1 week. 1 week. No, weeks away from Halloween. And then 1 week and 1 day from Dios de Muertes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Day of the Dead. And 1 week away from, I thought I was going to have a comic book show that day, or go to a comic and toy show that day, but that is not going to happen.
Nope.
Because of COVID. COVID sucks. But no. Okay. We're all going to post the episodes that we recorded in the time that we were down, and we apologize in advance. The quality of the audio will be kind of garbage for a while.
Well, that's how.
Go.
Go, Vince.
Go, Vince.
Not a problem.
Not
Go
a problem,
over there.
he
Go over
says.
there. But be good. Okay. We're going to... Damn it. Okay. Sorry. All right. No, we're like I said, we are going to release the episode. We're going to give you because we had the patron episode with Eric, but due to the quality issues, we're just going to go ahead and release that as an episode, so there's nobody going to have to pay for that because of the quality. Mm-hmm. We don't want people to like go, really, this is your first patron and it's going to be a
This is what we're paying premium?
Pay for premium. But we will have those starting hopefully next episode. We're working out some interviews coming up. We're going to work out some Zoom issues and stuff like that because I have some people who want to be interviewed that are not local who I want to interview, but we're going to see what we can do because we got to get the logistics of time and everything else. So, we're going to be active at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. They may live in Colorado, so we got to figure out that 2-hour difference. They're going to be active at 9 o'clock. So we got to make sure that we all get on the same page.
Also, I'd recommend Discord over Zoom.
Discord over Zoom.
Discord.
Discord sounds like it's something that should be horrible.
It's good. It's good. I talk to all my internet friends on there.
To all your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, except for like 2.
Well, we got Logan.
And your brother. The worst part about it is up until recently, I have friends on the internet. Hello, Jason. Who I had never met in real life. We knew mutual friend. We had mutual friends. We talked to whatever, and we finally got to talk. We finally got to meet last year at around this time, and it's kind of weird when you meet your friends that you talk to you talk to quite a bit on the internet.
Mhm.
It's weird, but it's cool. I mean, Jason's a cool dude. I'm happy I met him. We want to hang out again.
Mhm.
Kind of sucks. We had plans to meet up again this year, but then COVID.
You know what? Be safe or be dead.
And don't say masket or casket. Just don't say that. Okay, but all right. Tonight we're going to talk more about the Halloween season. We're going to talk about Halloween memories. We're going to talk about how people are totally pissed off that they're not putting a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on CBS this year.
I'm pissed about that too.
Why? It's like free online.
I don't care. It's not
And-
a public.
It
It starts with the Amazon exclusivity, and then
You know-
it's not going to stop. Next thing you know, next year it's going to be you're going to have to buy a subscription to watch it, and then the year after that you're going to have to not only own the subscription but also purchase like what Disney tried to pull with Mulan.
You know what you do? You know how you keep from all that bullcrap? Physical media. Lots of physical media.
That or
right over here.
You didn't hear this from me.
Stacks of physical media.
But yo ho ho.
Well, I think what they want. I know what CBS wants to do because I think it's on the CBS All Access channel.
No, it's on Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV.
Exclusive to Apple TV. 100%.
Yeah, but the thing is it's literally like it's probably like $10 on Apple TV, but it's literally everywhere you go. It's like in like the $3 to $5 bins at Walmart and shit like that.
But it's corporations.
Yeah, no.
It's corporations.
But if corporations want to sponsor our show, we'll be more than welcome to let them sponsor our show.
Look, I'm not above taking money.
I'm not above taking money from people I don't like. I'm not above taking. I won't take money from criminals. That's pretty much about it. I mean, I probably have taken money from criminals. If I know that you're a criminal, I don't want to take your money because I'm pretty sure it's ill-gotten booty. Ill-gotten booty. Ill-gotten booty. All right. So, I want to talk about, movies that me and Tina will discuss this on an episode that has not aired yet. Movies we have to watch every Halloween time. I have to watch. And it's funny because I don't even have to watch the Halloween movies. I watch the Halloween movies all year round. I don't even care. But the movies I have to watch the Universal Monster movies. I gotta watch.
I was going to say Season of the Witch.
Oh, I do watch Season of the Witch, but that's still a Halloween movie. So it's I still watch Halloween.
But Season of the Witch is, it's even more a Halloween movie than the Halloween movies.
Yeah, it's the most Halloween of the Halloween movies. That's not a Halloween movie. It's not the Halloween movie, but a Halloween movie. That's like Pumpkinhead. Me and your mom had this discussion. Pumpkinhead is the most Halloween movie that's not a Halloween movie that wasn't released on Halloween. And it's because Pumpkinhead is most definitely this time of year movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched Pumpkinhead like a week ago. Because I was like just talking about it and I was like, oh, Pumpkinhead's on AMC. Leave it right there. Wait, I was going to say, I was making fun of you going, why are you getting messages? I'm getting messages. People want to know how much stuff. I shouldn't be giving me messages now. All right. But I got to watch the Universal Monster movies. I've been burning through them. I've watched Dracula, all the Draculas except for Spanish. I've even watched the Abbott and Costello meet. I've met Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and Abbott and Costello and the Invisible Man. I have not watched Abbott and Costello and Jekyll and Hyde or The Mummy. But I have watched a bunch of the Frankenstein movies. I was watching Creature from the Black Lagoon a little bit ago. I will continue watching them all week at the shop. And then I've also been watching the other thing I have to watch every year, the Hammer classic monsters.
Oh, the Hammer ones.
So I just watched. I got to watch my Christopher Lee movies. That's a prerequisite. I'm Paul Christopher Lee. And as I tell everybody,
right there in the name,
you gotta watch Christopher Lee movies. And this is I'm a go out on a very wobbly limb here, and people don't like this, but Christopher Lee is the best Dracula. Best Dracula. Hands down. People love to say Bela Lugosi, but Bela Lugosi was only Dracula a handful of times in movies. I mean, he did the stage and studio, yeah, whatever. But Christopher Lee, best Dracula. So, what do you got to do this time of year?
I did want to say,
Don't hit the thing.
duh. But I wanted to say, I usually, you know, I'm the video game guy. I play horror games around this time of year. But when you brought up The Invisible Man, I remembered that Mark Hamill was talking about the original Invisible Man movie and how much the Invisible Man himself inspired his Joker voice.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's because he's got that the laugh and the maniacal laugh and
Mark Hamill was like, yeah, you know, I was rewatching, you know, The Invisible Man. It was just like, man, my Joker, really? Just wearing my inspiration on my sleeve, huh? But yeah,
I don't know.
Yep, love you, bud. Go. And this kid cannot stop watching Jason and Michael Myers movies, right?
Right.
Right. Is
you like Jason? What does Jason do? Is he scary?
I suppose so.
He's supposed.
What about Michael Myers? Is he scary?
I don't know.
You don't know.
You know.
Who would win in a fight, Vince? Jason or Michael Myers?
Jason.
Even he knows.
Yep. So, go. But yeah, then on top of it, I hate to say this, I just bought Shout Factory, Scream Factory, whatever you want, the big 16 Blu-ray Friday the 13th box set. Nice. Yes. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Keep talking.
You can't just.
I'm literally only walking across the room for 1 second.
Did you know that the NES Friday the 13th game isn't very good?
neither is the NES Mario Nightmare on Elm Street. Look at this big thing right here. Look at that. Boom. Boom.
Joke is outside. In fact, everyone already knows.
Yeah, I know. This thing is like that. Oh yeah. By the way, my Final Friday, I have to wait for the replacement disc. So it does have the gore where he gets punched and his arm snaps and stuff like that. But it is definitely worth the money. Because even if you look at it and you average, you know,
the good movies and the bad movies.
Realistically, if you're watching Friday the 13th, you're not worried about good and bad movies. I mean, my favorite one is 6. And people give me crap about that because people are like, oh, the best one is 3, or the best one is the first one, or whatever.
If they say the best one is the first one, they just want to have an opinion that sounds cool. Honestly, the first one would be boring.
It's a bit slow. Yeah. It's got good gore. Don't get me wrong. I love
it's got some cool effects. It's got the twist.
Yeah. What the twist?
The original twist.
Yeah.
But all in all, like I'd say that the later movies are the better movies. Especially part 6 is really good.
The worst part about it is I don't think I watched. I mean, literally, because
also Freddy versus Jason is just a schlock, awesome, funny.
Oh, it's so funny because it is definitely a product of its time. There's
literally a character that's just Jay of, you know, Kevin Smith fame, just without the name Jay.
Well, to be honest, when it comes to Friday the 13th movies, the first one came out in 1980. I was 6. I don't think I watched Friday the 13th until 3. And that was in 1982, and I was still so I probably watched that the next year, so I probably watched that in like 1983. I was a 9, man. I was relatively young to be watching this stuff, even though I let the one over there watch them.
They're silly movies. Sure, they got their, you know, their inappropriate stuff, but you know, you're not gonna be scared. You're not gonna be scarred for life from watching a.
Although I'm not going to say the first one I got to see in theater was 6, so I am impartial in that one because it's one of them things that when you the one that you have nostalgia for. I saw 6 in the theater. That's the one that stuck with me. Same way with Friday the 13th. Or not Friday the 13th. Halloween. Sorry, Halloween. I was literally way too young. I was 4 when Halloween dropped. Still, I remember going to the theater to go see 4, and then I saw 3 in the theater because we had a horror movie thing, and then I saw was it 1 and 3 in the theater, and then I saw the other ones on TV or on VHS, and then 5, and then so forth and so on.
Everyone associates the machete with Jason.
Yes.
But he uses like all kinds of different weapons in every movie. Every movie he gets a his weapon for that movie.
Yeah, but
so
he tends to have the machete in every movie at some point or another. I mean, yeah, he got the axe and he had the weed whacker with the saw blade on it.
He had the harpoon,
he had
the pig splitter.
Yeah.
He had the pitchfork.
It's one of the ones where that's the one he's most associated with. So it just kind of stuck. I mean, realistically, Michael Myers,
his kitchen knife.
Is a kitchen knife. Even though he usually I think he's killed more people with his hands.
Oh yeah,
than with a utensil. With a utensil, with a knife or a weapon. It's where he impales the dude with the shotgun. Stakes him right to the wall.
Then there's the best Halloween movie, where he kills someone with some camera equipment.
Oh God! We didn't even talk about
crap. What was that rapper's name? They literally get he gets a kung fu fight scene with Michael Myers.
That I saw that in a theater. It's Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
It's Halloween Resurrection, and it's god awful horrible. Everybody says that. Everybody gives because I love the people who say Rob Zombie's the one who murdered the Halloween franchise. That shit was dead when he got
Rob
there.
Zombie was just
Zombie was like trying to
fiction.
animate the corpse. Yeah, he was doing fan fiction. Exactly what that is.
He just loves Halloween.
Yeah,
and he loves slasher film movies.
This is okay. I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. They're all levels of all of them. The one's great because it's
You're never going to top that first.
You're never going to. Yeah, it's like Halloween, the first one. You can't top the first Halloween, even though 2018 came really close to it. But no, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first one is gritty. It doesn't feel like you should be watching it. It feels like somebody recorded these people dying. Then the second one went super meta. And that shit was funny. And gory and over the top. And it was great. And then a lot of people give 3 crap. I love 3.
Nobody defends 4.
Nobody defends 4. Although I'm not gonna lie, I think I know one person who likes 4.
Who is that person? Are they real?
Yes, they're real. They're on the internet for me. So I don't know, Jason. If you hear this and you say otherwise and you send me a message telling me that I do not like 4, but I had a copy of it.
The reboots are pretty good. The first reboot was fine.
I loved it. I liked the new.
R. Lee Ermey.
Oh yeah. Well, he's the best part of both those movies, even though the second one's bad. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reboot. I like the first one. I do. I appreciate it. Yeah, they tried to do what they did, but that was when Platinum Dooms got the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, and there for a brief minute, all 3 of the 3 of the big 4 were all under the same house, and that was during that time period. That's like I liked Texas Chainsaw, the 3D one, until you get like the last 10 minutes. I was like, oh shit, Leatherface running through a carnival, yeah!
And then nothing happens.
And nothing happens. And then there's the twist at the end. You're just like, the hell is this bull crap? And then now you had Leatherface, and now next year you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is funny. Okay, so you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is a direct sequel to 1. Then you have Texas Chainsaw, which is a direct sequel to 1. Now you're going to have Texas Chainsaw 2021, which is going to be a direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw 74. So...
all these direct sequels to
there's
the first
all...
one.
Yeah, it's... Well, see, there's 4 movies in the original cycle. Then there's 2 movies in the second cycle. Then there's the 2 movies in the Leatherface and the Leatherface. That's not even in that cycle. And then there's Texas Chainsaw, which is back to the original cycle. There's 8 movies right now with a 9th one on the way, and no continuity technically between any of them, even though there's
like
supposed
Halloween
to be
movies.
continuity. Oh my god!
The horror movies and their continuities.
I tried
Makes no
to
sense.
explain to Mark the other day the Halloween. He goes, well, you can't have a direct sequel. How did they have a direct sequel in 2018 when 2 was the direct sequel to 1? I was like, no, because this movie ignores 2. But 1 and 2 take place on the same night. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
2018 is a direct sequel to 1, ignores 2 through whatever. Then you got the one that goes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Then ignores, then that's kind of where that ends. Then you have the one that goes 1, 2, H2O, Resurrection. And then you just have Halloween 3. And then you have Rob
3.
Zombie's 1 and 2.
Halloween 3, the first Halloween, is a movie within that universe. Because you see them that they're watching the original Halloween in that, so...
Well,
it gives them an excuse to reuse that iconic track.
yeah, see, I liked Halloween.
Season of the Witch should not have been given the shit it got.
No, if that movie would have just been
If that
John
movie-
Carpenter's Season of the Witch, even though he just produced it, he didn't direct it, but if it had just been John Carpenter's Season of the Witch, people have been like, hey, this is a great movie. It's a great... Because, he's going back to the roots, being back in the holiday killer stuff, and I'm like, I like it. That's literally one I watch every year at this time.
Part of me wonders,
I'll probably watch it tonight.
in the alternate timeline where Season of the Witch was a huge success, and Halloween became the series that they were originally going to do with it, where it's going to be like different stories centered around the holiday.
Would love for them to even go back to that day. Have John Carpenter produce, and
have them do like shorts on like some kind of streaming service that you're meant to watch on during
Shudder.
October.
Yeah, the month of Shudder, you get John Carpenter's Halloween movies, and have it take place.
Call it Season of the Witch. That'd be the coolest. Like
The
a great
Seasons of the
callback.
Witch.
A great callback. Call it Season of the Witch. Have it
So-
be these fun, weird stories that just center around.
So you could be like you could have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch 2.
We get essentially the apocalypse. Because
Well, no, because
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
You could have like Leprechaun, which is like Leprechaun in the Hood is the 4th one or something like that, and then you
Leprechaun
have
back to
the Hood is like the 6th one. So, you know what? We talk about horror movie continuities. The ones we haven't talked about is the Children of the Corn. We're not even going to go there. Children of the Corn is an absolute disaster when it comes to continuity. I think the best horror movie continuity is Phantasm.
It's just movies that happen.
No, Phantasm, outside of number 2, it has the same cast, the same director, and everything from the first movie to the last movie, except for that in the second movie when they replaced Michael. And then they brought him back in the third one because...
There was the one... I remember you watching it at the shop, and it was like literally the newest one, and like the plot is that like one of the characters is like stuck in like an alternate dimension.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's, a direct sequel. It's continuing the timeline.
Yeah.
And then he fights one of the orbs.
Yep, because that is what happens. That's the 5th one. That's Ravager.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all are in the same continuity. And what's funny is is the 4th one, they used old leftover footage that they did not put in the first one as flashback scenes in the new one, in the 4th one. So there are scenes
that were filmed all the way back for the first one,
yeah,
put in the movie. That they were just like, put in the fourth one. That's cool.
Yeah, but Don Coscarelli had that down pat. And I admit, I love the Phantasm movies. I watch Phantasm all the time, actually.
I was going to say, some more required Halloween viewing, The Crow.
Yeah, The Crow. Definitely The Crow.
I'm not just saying that because I'm named after the late, great...
Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
Yep. See, we're real original in this household.
I was originally going to be Bruce, but then...
No, you were going to be Brandon Bruce Lee. And your mom was like, "No, we're not doing that to him." then you were Brandon Xavier Lee, and then me and your mom
Brandon Xavier Spicer Lee.
Yeah, and then your mom was separated, so you're Brandon Xavier Spicer Lee.
And I just usually go by Spicer.
Yeah. Even though he's a Lee, he's just on paperwork. He's Spicer.
Too frustrated.
Yep. What? Yeah, he's still a Spicer because they're all Spicers and they're all Lees, except for Trevor. No, he's still a Spicer Lee. He chose to be a Spicer Lee. This one didn't.
I mean, I'm fine.
This one was born into it. Trevor just
inherited it.
He was pulled into it.
I know he didn't have to come over to our house, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
showed up one day and never went home.
Then we got a new brother.
And that's how you get a kid. You can tell your kids, "Where'd you find your brother at? Find him in a Cabbage Patch?" No, he just showed up on the porch one day, and that's how we got your brother. And we were not lying. All right, but the other ones is, of course, the Trick or Treat movies. You got to watch either Trick or Treat or Trick or Treat, which this will go back to when we do the episode with Tina again, when we get this all figured out. But I watch both of those because Trick or Treat is just such a product of the 80s. And for some reason, they had all these movies where people died and they came back with electrical powers.
But electrical powers are cool.
Yeah, but there's no reason. I mean, Shocker kind of gives a little reason, but in Sammy Kerr in Trick or Treat, he suddenly has like power over electrical, and they don't even explain that in any way, shape, or form.
Who cares? It's cool.
It comes through the music, man. And the fact that they always put Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne on all the covers, even though they're only cameos, and the real star of that movie is Mark Skippy from Family Ties Price. That's right. Because that's like his only starring role, I believe, is anything. Is he played the main character
in the Trick or Treat graphic novel. That I read the crap out of that old graphic novel. It's just like the movie except in graphic novel form.
Oh man, that and that's one that I don't know why that movie took forever to come out, because it was supposed to come out in theater. And Vince over watching TV. It finally came out. It was like, what the heck? This is awesome. And the fact that the dude is making a cinematic horror holiday universe is great, because Krampus is in that universe. If you look, they dump out a bag of candy left over from Halloween, and Sam Sucker's in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So they give a little nod to that, but yeah, Krampus and
Trick or Treat
and Sam exist in the same universe. I'm hoping we're supposed to be getting Trick or Treat 2, which I was thinking we were supposed to get next year, but I think with everything, COVID, is going to be the year after. I think we're going to get that in 2022. And Brandon over here yawning. Don't even need to be yawning. So, but no, and the funny part about it, we were talking about this, is there's horror movies that you can watch that I don't watch at Halloween time, because I don't think they fit the holiday. Like, I don't watch
Yeah,
I don't
Jaws
watch
is summer. It's literally a summer blockbuster.
That's a summer movie, yeah.
I wouldn't even like. Sure, it's a horror movie, but it's a bit. Back in the day, it was known as. Even today, it's known as the summer blockbuster.
The first summer blockbuster movie. Well, what's funny is that though last night I literally watched giant monster movies.
You can watch giant monster movies any time of the year.
Fuck, I watch Godzilla movies all the time.
Godzilla, Godzilla vs. King Kong, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
I watch Underwater, and I watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, the new one. The newest one, not the new one, because that's Godzilla vs. King Kong, which we were supposed to be watching now. COVID.
You're gonna do like fight the physically.
I'm gonna physically fight the virus. I'm gonna punch it with my fists.
It's good. You need to shrink you down.
Shrink me down. Go all old Fantastic Voyage, and shrink me down so I can go fight the virus on 1-on-1.
Mono y mono.
Mono y mono. That's right. I'll
mono y microbe. There we go.
Get down there and beat it with my fist. No. Be like the episode of Archer where they shrink down and the floating around. And then they end up exploding inside the body because they don't get out fast enough. Archer. Which, I've been watching the new season of Archer. Is fun. But, no, like I said, there are movies I don't watch, and then there's movies like last night was not watching for Halloween movies. Those were just, I wanted to watch Underwater and I wanted to watch Godzilla. But earlier in the day, I watched... I can't remember what I watched. But like a little bit ago, like I said, I was watching Creature from the Black Lagoon a little bit ago. And probably when this is all said and over, I'm going to watch Season of the Witch, Halloween 3. Because that's just something you got to watch. Mm-hmm. And enjoy yourself and have a good time and not worry about it not being a Halloween movie. Because it is a Halloween movie, but not a Halloween movie.
Don't got no Michael Myers.
No Michael Myers. Although I did watch 4 the other day. I need to sit...
Would you rather watch a bad movie where Michael Myers gets into a fight with Busta Rhymes and loses? Or would you rather watch a movie that's actually a good movie?
I'd rather actually watch a good movie
than watch Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. No, I'm sitting, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I used to, we'd get all the Halloween specials around this time of the year. Like, we'd get, Great Pumpkin, we get the Garfield Halloween special.
The Simpsons Treehouse
of Horror. And then I remember, leading up to Halloween... Especially in the later years when there was a whole bunch of you would get 4 of them. You get a couple of them every week leading up to. And then on FX they would show an entire week of nothing but the Simpsons Halloween specials.
You know what's one of the best Halloween specials? Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy.
Just watch Billy and Mandy.
Watch Billy and Mandy. Watch the Crank Call of Cthulhu on Billy and Mandy.
Watch the Halloween special. Watch the movie. Watch the...
Oh, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, used to be that we'd always get the Roseanne every Halloween. You get the Roseanne Halloween special. I mean, even MASH had Halloween episodes, which is hilarious to think. But MASH had Halloween episodes. Well, and I get the fact that they're streaming and there's literally hundreds of channels and there's tons of streaming networks.
Streaming, you gotta watch that. 'Cause, if
slippery slope.
Yeah.
Slippery slope.
Get physical media.
Physical media.
If you can't get physical media, yar.
You know what? They can't take away your copy of Halloween if you own it in a physical format. It's bad. I own.
You'll get Apple. You'll be taking the copy of my Peanuts Great Pumpkin special out of my cold dead hands.
I got the Halloween special, but I think I only got it on VHS, and that makes it even better because you got to turn on the VCR, put the tape in, and hit play.
Be kind. Rewind.
Oh man, I remember being the manager at Hollywood Video, assistant manager at the Hollywood Video, and the entire month of October, all the all of the horror movies were almost always out. Especially Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You would never be able to find any of those. Wasn't until later when you started getting shit tons of like the direct to DVD stuff and whatnot, then Halloween the movie started slowing down. Mm-hmm. But you would have so many people coming in there like, you got any of the Halloween? No. Nope. They're all out. They'll be out till the end of the month. Good luck with that. Well, could I get put on the list? No. No, we're not going to call you. Because literally, there's 20 people.
It'll come back in, and then we'll immediately rent it out again.
Yeah. It's as soon as it walks in the door, it was going right back out the door. And what was funny was when I grew up, there were like 4 movies that were never in. Ever in. As soon as, because I remember when the video store first opened up here in town when I was a little kid. They're literally the 4 movies that were always out as soon as they came was Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's a Halloween movie. It's a spooky movie.
And the first Friday the 13th movie. Never in. Those movies were never in. I remember the first time I got to rent the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was, 12. I was in junior high. And I went in and it was like, miraculously, it was on the shelf. It was like, what? I was like, we're renting it. And of course, the guy was like, all right, cool. There you go. I rented it, went home, watched it. And I was like,
This movie's scary.
I love this movie. This is not my new favorite horror movie. So, and the funny part about it is that movie came out the year I was born. Same one with Exorcist was 73, I was 74.
It's some more required Halloween viewing.
Dog Soldiers. Yeah, because it takes place in the early in the fall, and it's great. Probably, and I'm gonna take some crap on this one. Best werewolf movie. And that's saying a lot because I love Howling. I love American Werewolf in London. All the old Wolfman movies. Just all that.
Is this the original?
Dog Soldiers wins. Yes, that should be the original. And Night of the Living Dead. Night.
This one is public domain, so you have no reason to not watch it.
This is literally movie. It's on every streaming network because no one has to pay anybody rights to run this because it's free.
Because it's public domain. Because they screwed up putting the copyright symbol on it. So.
Yeah, they put the copyright on Night of the Flesh Eaters, and not Night of the Living Dead.
So the movie when it came out was immediately put in the public domain. Yeah, and everyone was like,
well, it's funny because those guys I was sitting there talking to. I didn't get to talk to George Romero, but I got to talk to Russo and Hinsman, and those guys were talking about how like a ton of people made money on this movie, but the guys who made this movie, but. Enough people saw this movie, and then George Romero was able to do side work and finally be able to put out, he did his version of a movie called Seasons of the Witch. He also did Martin, and then finally him and Dario Argento put together Dawn of the Dead.
Which is another Dawn of the Dead.
If you ever get a chance, take the pilgrimage, go over to Monroeville, Pennsylvania, and go to the mall. It's not the exact same mall now. It is the mall, but it's a lot of stuff's changed. But it is noticeably the mall. We took a friend of ours there in the early 2000s, and we were sitting there. Hey, he was like, "Hey man," I was like, "You know that mall we passed coming in the convention center?" That wasn't good. No, that was not good. You running through there and knocking the camera over, bud.
Maybe.
Maybe. More like yes.
You don't give me hugs? All right. I love you. You're my buddy. Forever and ever?
I know.
You know. Give me 5.
Eh,
Break the rock. Thumbs up.
well,
Okay, now go play. Go watch Paddington.
no.
Yes.
All right,
go.
I'm gonna go watch Paddington. Then.
It's technically difficult. All right, back to the story. In about 2005, we took a friend of ours with us to Pittsburgh Comic-Con. Pittsburgh Comic-Con's, the convention center, shared the parking lot, essentially, with the Monroeville Mall. We were there, and we're like, hey, Ryan, across the parking lot is the mall where they filmed Dawn of the Dead, which is one of his favorite movies. He's like, no, it isn't. That doesn't look at all. He goes, this doesn't look at all. I like, dude, progress. They build everything around here. So we're at the convention. He takes off and runs across the parking lot for a few minutes. About a half hour goes by. He comes back, and he's like, that's the mall from Dawn of the Dead. And we're like, no, we told you it was the mall from Dawn of the Dead. He goes, yeah, he goes, JCPenney's is still there and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. They've updated it a lot, especially since 2005. I mean, shit, that was 15 years ago. Oh. But it's obviously still the same mall.
I need to go there when I'm in Pennsylvania next.
Well, we were supposed to go there this year, and we were going to go back over because Steel City Con, I think, is still in that convention center now. Since Pittsburgh Comic Con is gone. No. But I think that's what I want to do one year. I want to just see how many places we can go, like in a week, and hit like where they filmed horror movies. I mean, at least when we were down in New Orleans, we got to see where they filmed Interview with the Vampire and American Horror Story. What was the one with the witches? Coven. Why would they think of Coven? I couldn't think of that. But yeah, it's funny because we're walking. They're like, "Hey, do you remember this? This is where they filmed that, and that's where they filmed that." And it actually, because they filmed so many movies in the French Quarter, it's ridiculous. We also got to see where they filmed scenes from Easy Rider in the cemetery, and now they don't allow you to film in the cemetery because of the filming of Easy Rider in the cemetery because it's all Easy Rider's fault. It's all Dennis Hopper's fault. I blame him. Yep, Dennis Hopper's fault. So
It's always Dennis Hopper's fault.
well, what's funny is when we were down there, we were seeing where all the little stores and stuff had little bits and pieces of, this is from this movie and this is from this movie, and you're like, oh, okay. And then this is where they filmed this, but this is just an apartment building. This is where they filmed the outside of it. This is not where they filmed the inside. But
Here we go.
Brandon's over here looking for a movie.
The original Dawn of the Dead. Show it on camera for
Dawn of the Dead. This is
all the original of the Dead movies. Are
all 127 minutes of it. I used to have a stupid long, like 5-hour VHS cut of that at one point, like the work print cut. That was something. I mean, it was cool to watch and it was neat, but it's something you only want to watch once because 5 hours is too long for one movie. Some movies, I think when you get a little over the 3-hour mark, some movies get painful. And that's come from me because I could sit through about any damn movie, and I literally sit and watch all 3 Star Wars movies. I say all 3.
Oh.
By all 3, I mean New Hope, Empire, and Return.
Now here
I will watch all those in one day.
is some classics.
Although,
Here.
what we got? What are you trying to show me now?
Reanimator.
Reanimator. Yes. I don't know if I can.
Chud.
Chud. Chud. I don't consider a Halloween movie.
I don't know. It's a horror movie.
But the funny part about it is, I totally consider this a Halloween movie, but I don't consider this a Halloween movie. Because I literally want to say this takes place during the summer. But yeah, it's Chud. What does Chud stand for, Brandon?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
What does Chud stand for, Brandon?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground.
What's the other? What is it? What else does it stand for?
I can't remember.
Chemically hazardous underground disposal.
Oh.
And Reanimator. God, it's funny because I got to talk to Stuart Gordon once before he died, and we were laughing. I was like, I watched Reanimator when I was way too young to be watching Reanimator. He goes, I hear that a lot. So, super nice guy, man. I wish
Get out.
I wish I could. I wish he would have been around longer. I
If
mean,
you want a good Halloween movie to watch with your kids, because this other stuff we're recommending is a little too hardcore.
shit. Yeah, watch Coraline. God damn, that is definitely a Halloween movie. That is
It's a horror movie for kids.
This is a movie I did not realize how many adults are freaked out by this movie. I mean, I get little kids. I get the other mother is kind of creepy, but I did not realize the level of adults that were freaked out by this movie.
Terry.
Yeah, that's the remake. That's the second remake. That's not even.
That's the remake? Oh.
Yeah, that's the one that the TV version.
Oh, the TV. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. But no, I got that. It's on Blu-ray. It's over there.
All right.
But
I don't want to fish.
no, I'm not gonna make Brandon fish through Blu-rays and DVDs and tell you what to watch and what not to watch this Halloween. But
this is just something I want to do. Show.
he wants to show physical media
Yes.
at its best.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to do that, then you go down here. Yeah, Hellions is good for Halloween. This is literally the Fade to Black and Hell Night.
There's Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Oh my god.
The original.
You know what? That is definitely a Halloween movie. I mean, I know it takes place in a. It's not the whole movie doesn't take place because it takes place over almost a year, but it ends in the fall, and it's such a great Halloween movie.
Here you
go. This movie scared my mom so bad that in like 1990, when I got it on VHS, she watched it while I was gone and my stepdad was gone. And the end where the clock strikes midnight in the movie, it struck midnight at our house. And my mom basically like slept with a gun because she was afraid that something was going to come and get her. It wasn't until the next day when my stepdad realized the gun had been moved. But, no, well, there's other movies I got to watch this time of year. I got to watch Night of the Demons. I've got to watch the Demon movies, and I'm slow, which is funny because I'm watching those, but I've watched 1 and 2.
There's Hills of Eyes Part 2 down there.
Yeah, the Hills
have Eyes.
One is I think over there because I gotta get my movies in order. Literally, we're still getting this whole setup all put together and get my movies where I want them. I need to get them in order, alphabetical, numerical, genre order. Because that's the way they need to be. Because that's the way I need them to be. And
WrestleManiac.
WrestleMania.
That was a fun movie. I watched that.
That was a great movie. But no, the ones I don't watch. I don't watch my Halloween movie. I'm not Halloween. My Halloween movies I don't watch. I don't think I've ever watched the Hellraiser movie at Halloween time. Outside of maybe like at a horror movie festival or nothing, but it's not one I have to sit down and watch. I watch the Hellraiser movies throughout the year anyways.
If you want a good game to play during this time of year, Clive Barker's Undying. That's the I talked about that a couple nights ago with the handsome main character.
Well, what's funny is that it used to be, when I used to be able to play video games more often, there were 2 games I played every year around Halloween time. Silent Hill 2 and Resident Evil 2. And I played them...
That one's still working, or did that finagle not work?
It'll work again.
But I was going to say, got the RE2 remake.
Yeah.
Some time.
Oh my god!
Just sit down. And play.
I think I'm just gonna say to hell with it, and I'm just gonna buy the VR because I want to play Resident Evil VR.
Yeah, gonna need to get the PlayStation VR because that's what I got the Resident Evil 7 for.
I know. That's the plan. What was she said? Not the remake of 1, which doesn't look like 1.
7 it's a weird game, but I love it.
Well, what's funny was I talked to a guy and he had bought 7, and he's like, he goes, I'm watching through the goggles, and he goes, and I got the earbuds in and stuff like that, and he goes, I know that this isn't really happening. But that's when my brain and my ears are telling me this is actually happening.
Get out of here.
He goes, it's weird and off-putting. He says because your inputs are functioning properly, and you're not getting what you think you should be getting, and what you end up getting are two vastly different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. All I do know is that Jack Baker from that game is one of my favorite video game bad guys just ever. He's like pure grindhouse schlock, and he's awesome.
Oh my god! So the other day I was going through Amazon Prime, and I found Grindhouse 2. 2 W-O. Grindhouse 2. It's... I don't know how they didn't get sued, because I guess outside the fact that the word Grindhouse can't be copyrighted, but literally they made a Grindhouse movies like the movie Grindhouse with the Tarantino Robert Rodriguez version, and I'm just sitting there staring at it, and I'm like, I kind of want to watch this, but it looks like a train wreck.
Yeah, but sometimes the training wreck movies are fun.
Oh, no kidding.
There's a difference between bad and fun bad, and fun bad is the best.
I love fun bad movies. You cannot get...
I mean, look, it's got right here
the big Friday the 13th box set.
some of those, like Jason Goes to New York.
God, that's just horrible. There's actually Jason on a boat. He's only in New York for like 5 minutes.
When he's in New York, it's funny.
The fact is, I love the documentary about that they only were able to get like 1 day's filming or something like that in New York. So literally, they got to walk Jason down Times Square. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool being in New York City, and all of a sudden,
Jason.
He's like walking by.
I love that Jason just like ignores like just everyone. He's just after the...
He's laser focused on them teenagers. That's right, teenagers. But he does kill a couple other people in that movie that are...
He punches someone's head clean off.
When he stabs a junkie clear through with a needle until the needle comes out the other side. But what's funny is I love telling this story is that when you guys were little, I took you to a comic book convention that Kane Hodder was at.
Yeah, you've told this story on the podcast.
And
we met Kane Hodder.
You met Kane Hodder because you guys were like, I was like, remember Jason? You're like, yeah. I'm like, hey, that's him right there. That's Jason. And you're like, and then you met him, and then you realized he was a cool guy.
Nice
guy. And then you were like, oh, Jason is nothing. So it's kind of weird meeting these guys who are in the makeup and who are in movies. I mean, I've met Doug Bradley. I've met Gunnar Hansen. I met Kane Hodder. I met a couple of the other, like, cause there's no consistency to the Halloween guys and stuff like that. And I met a couple of the other Leatherfaces. But for the most part, the villain was the coolest guy of the series. They were the nicest people. Literally, Gunnar Hansen was like a friendly grandpa. He was just like his uber friendly, joking around. Back when I did my TV show, we got a 10-minute interview with him. He gave us almost 20 minutes, and he was telling us stories. He was asking us questions about what our favorite movies were and stuff like that. It was great. And Kane was always cool with us. Doug Bradley was hilarious because he was by himself off in a corner at a comic book convention that they had like 4 horror movie guys at. And for some reason, they had like all these Star Wars people, this, that, and the other. And then these 4 horror movie guys like tucked back in a corner. And I went and found Doug Bradley. He was supposed to be charging to sign, but he was literally back there bored and was signing whatever anybody would bring up to him. And that was the year I met Clive Barker, too. Same year, not the same convention. But he was so super cool telling me stories, because literally it was just me talking to Doug Bradley for, because no one else was around. And, literally that's something you can't get nowadays, because there would be, security and a corral to get you back to Doug Bradley, and and they would make sure that people knew Doug Bradley was there so they could make their money. And it was a completely different beast in the 90s. Because I'm old.
Sleepy cat under the table.
See, I joke around and people give me crap because they're like, "You're old and bitter." I'm like, "I'm not old and bitter. I'm just old and I remember when shit was better." I'm like, literally, it was better because back in the day, conventions, if you wanted an autograph, you didn't pay a shit ton for a meet and greet, a photo op, and an autograph. You stood your ass in line for 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever, and you got your autograph. Part of the deal was paying that, what was then still expensive to get into a convention, and then waiting in line was another payment, and then you moved on. Yeah, stuff, you can go get conventions now, and you can get almost right up to these people, but you literally have to pay out the nose to get to them.
You gotta give them an arm and a leg.
And back then you didn't. If you were willing to stand in line long enough.
Most of the money's going to the con guys, not even the guys.
50-50.
Yeah.
Most of them it's 50-50 from what I understand. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but a lot of people from what I understand.
A lot of money's still going to the actual con runners rather than the actual guys. That's why there's a massive upcharge.
Oh yeah, dude, when I was trying to book our last convention, I was looking at getting guests, and that was pretty standard because a lot of them, they want you to pay X amount of money up front, hotel and transportation, and then they get 50% of whatever they make. Mm-hmm. So if they charge $40 an autograph, 20 goes to the convention, 20 goes back to them. They still make more money than the convention does for them being there. Mm-hmm. But what you want to do is you want that guest to be there so you'll get more people through the door, so you make more money at the door. That's where you get that. Mm-hmm. And then
this is a man who's running conventions.
Then you get ones that are like, but it's $100,000 up front. It's like I was looking at some of this, and this one people sent me the list of if I could get anybody I wanted to, I would have to rearrange if I had the money. And I'm looking at some of these people, and like for one day, you can get Robert Downey Jr. He was like $1.8 million for one day. But that's when you charge fucking $200 an autograph, another $200 for the meet and greet, picture, whatever.
$1,000 to get in.
Yeah, but no, you're also looking at getting 100,000 people through the door. That's when you get the big conventions.
That's when you get the big bucks.
But yeah, I'm sitting there looking at the list, and I'm like, holy crap, you can get that person, you can get that person, you can get that person.
You just need the money.
Just if you have the money, you can get them. Literally, I want to say I could get freaking Morgan Freeman. But Morgan Freeman was like $500,000 for the day. And you still had to pay his hotel and his airfare.
I don't think he would have stayed at the Pickwick Mall Hotel.
Stayed at the Pickwick Mall Hotel. So that's just it. Because you'd have to, that's another thing. You'd have to put them up in a really good hotel. So you'd have to send them all the way down to Dayton. Mm-hmm. Put them up in a decent hotel in Dayton, which I don't even know if there's hotels in Dayton that would be good enough for those people. And then have to get them, go and have somebody pick them up, bring them to the convention, set them up, have them there, run the convention, take them, drive them back to their hotel or to the airport or wherever they're going, and get them out. Mm-hmm. And they're not flying cheap. They're flying first class and everything else. So you're looking at,
way more than just that $500,000.
Mm-hmm. But, and then there's ones who are like, how much are you? $1,200. And food.
That'd be me. If I was famous, I'd just be like, you got food?
Oh, then there's ones that you would assume wouldn't be anything and are like, I need this much up front. I need to make half of the table. If I don't make this at the table, I need a guarantee on the back end so that if I don't make this much, then you have to pay me that much or buy this much of my merch and then, do it that way. And I'm like, no, you're not worth that much. Don't get me wrong. They're guests that if I had the money, I would most certainly get, because this would probably be Piqua one and only chance to have that person in Piqua. But I don't have money. I live an okay life.
You're not rich.
I'm not.
None of
rich.
us are rich.
No. I can't.
You know who's a guy who we could probably get? Dave Pilkey, the guy who does the Captain Underpants.
Dude.
Captain Underpants takes place in Piqua, Ohio. It's right there in the third book.
Dave Pilkey's from Piqua.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Underpants.
That big movie from like what, Illumination?
No, he's done a couple movies. They're all on Netflix though.
Yeah.
All take place in the town of Piqua, Ohio.
In the prestigious town.
Why anybody would base anything here in Piqua is beyond me. Even though it's funny because there's two issues. There's an issue of Action Comics and there's an issue of Green Lantern, and they both take place in Piqua.
Well, the joke in I got to figure out what the actual school, because it's just in Captain Underpants comic books. It's just just flat out Piqua, Ohio. I got to figure out which school Dave Pilkey that he based the horrible. He literally made a joke where Mr. Krupp goes to prison. And, it goes on, everything was monitored. The lunches sucked. It was just like being a student at Jerome Horowitz Elementary School, except the prison had better funding. This is one of the best jokes ever written.
Ooh. Yeah, but no. My goal is that if
I gotta find out which school
I'm going to try my hardest for next year. Should everything go good and we can actually run conventions next year, I will bring back my convention next year. So we're planning on that for next year.
Hopefully we'll have the vaccine.
They're supposed to be back by then. Just after the first of the year, we're supposed to get a vaccine, but it is what it is.
Going to get.
But all right. What?
It's a vaccine. We don't know if it's safe or not.
Yeah, there's a vaccine that comes from a woman that works in the healthcare field. Whether it's safe or not is a complete another story. But okay,
sure, you could be immune to COVID, but all of a sudden you got something else in you.
So suddenly you're diabetic. I don't know.
I would say it compromises your immune system or something, and then you come down with smallpox.
Suddenly the nanites they put in. I'm not going to say that because somebody might actually believe they put nanites in.
Dad, they put the nanites in there.
They control your brain. They put the nanites in the vaccines, and that's how they're going to control us. That's right. It's not going to be...
They're going to chip you.
They're not going to chip you. They're going to put nanites in you and control you. We're going to be drones.
Suddenly your arm's going to it's going to be like scene from Evil Dead 2. You're going to have to chop off your own hand. But the next thing you know, your other hand's going after you.
No, you chop off your hand, then the nanites build another hand. Except for that one's more powerful than the hand you cut off, and it's like... You're like, whack! And it's like, it's safe. No! It got me! Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to edit this one together because we did have a crash right in the middle of us due to Vince running past the camera.
Edit that crash in there and then have it immediately cut to technical difficulties.
Yeah, we need to have that. We're experiencing technical difficulties. All right. Now here we go. As always, follow us on YouTube,
Twitter, Facebook,
Podbean, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. We're on Audrey. We are on.
We're on just about everything.
We're on everything we can.
I don't think we're on iHeartRadio.
No, we're not. We're not on that yet. We're not on.
We're not competing with them true crime podcasts.
Yeah, no way I can compete with true crime podcasts. Although I can tell you some true crimes, because I was in a hotel where a guy was murdered. That's right. They killed him while I was at work.
Oh.
So.
Oops.
That's a story for another day. All right.
Was that the Piqua Hotel?
Yeah, when I worked at the Piqua Hotel.
You mean the one that we lived at too?
Yeah, you didn't live there at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, but there was a guy murdered there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
that'll be a history lesson for me,
history lesson there. I worked at a hotel when and where a guy was murdered. All right. So, as always, like and subscribe.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Hit
Hit
the
the
like
notification bell.
I have some good news though, Dad, before we finish this up. Have you heard that this year is going to be the first year that Halloween falls on Friday the 13th?
We're going to have the first Halloween on Friday the 13th with a full blood moon, and it's the first time that'll happen in 666 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll all be... The devil will show up and be like, whoa, I don't want nothing to do with this bullshit. I'm out of here. Bye. See you next time. See you in 666 years. And what year? And the devil shows up. Boom. What year is this? 2020. Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you.
I'm out.
I'm out.
It's like,
Y'all keep that. Y'all keep 2020. I'm going back to hell. He disappears back into the ground. All right. And, as always, I'm Paul.
I'm not always as Brandon, because sometimes I'm not here.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm Brandon.
And we're not we're not licensed therapists.
Nope.
But we are group therapy.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Adios.